Shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting, Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sop. I camp our Lion Den, Hawan Ben Yashawada in Jacksonville, Florida. But first, I'd like to give a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the Akims, and to the women and children. Kau Halayim La, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ha Rogak Rodash Mahamath, in the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder Hawan. Salutations to the Archons who are on the four corners of the earth, and to the women and children. Shalom. Okay. I'm going to play a short part of this video. United Nations publisher go for worldwide censorship. Her name, who's going to talk about, is Maria Z. Info. You know, that guy from Info, he's part of the group, you know. But he does, they do allow him to entertain all of us with some truth, right? But it's just to show you how close we are now with the technology that the wicked ones have, right, around the world, and how they are coming out more and more every day being bold, okay? And they do that because they want to deceive the mass, okay? That they are in total control, and that they are going to succeed in what they're going to do, right, to humanity, especially to the so-called Negro Latino, Native Americans, and speckled birds, right? Let me play it, and then I'll go into the scripture, and then I'll tell you the title of the scripture after the video. Here we go.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now, InfoWars tells you the truth about what's happening next. InfoWars.com/.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm your guest host, Maria Z of zmedia.com, and it is an honor to be with you all here today. I'm really grateful to Alex for the fact that he has allowed free speech on this platform. He's allowed discourse. He's allowed differing opinions. Protecting free speech is so vital. It's so vital because, as I put out on X the other day, first they take your speech, then they take your mind. And I think what a lot of people don't understand is that the suppression of free speech and censorship in general actually has so much to do with the transhumanist agenda, and I'm going to explain it to you today. I was on an X space recently where I was discussing the transhumanist agenda and the vision of these technocrats to merge human beings with AI, to merge human beings into the Internet of Bodies, the Internet of Things. And when I first started talking about this stuff, a lot of people were saying, wow, this is really out there, Maria. You know, I love the information that you bring, but this is a little bit too far. And what I'm finding is, you know, particularly in that X space, I sort of dropped a bomb with the most outlandish, a condensed version of the most outlandish possible way to explain the plans of the UN and these maniacs at the World Economic Forum that want to, that tell you that basically free will is over, humans don't have a soul, God is fiction in the sky, and we need to forget about him. And Yuval basically, you know, describing the end of human consciousness. But what is it that they actually envision when they're saying these things? We see Yuval saying humans are hackable animals, you know, free will is over. So what is their actual vision? And I did a condensed version of this on the X space. Team, actually, I might get you to play that clip when we come back from break out loud, but we'll hold on for a moment. In this X space, I did a condensed version of that, and people were so hungry for it. So I'm going to do one later on this week with a couple of really other fantastic broadcasters on there to explain the book, the UN 100s Remaking the World Towards an Age of Global Enlightenment, and what the UN has actually published. Got a black and white version of it here. The team will bring it up on screen shortly. But I've got these people have established what they plan on doing with the internet. What do they actually see the internet as compared to what we see it as? And in the UN's latest efforts, UNESCO has published guidelines for the governance of digital platforms. And I'm going to talk you through some of that document today, because what they're seeking to do is moderate everything online, including platforms that aim to be free speech platforms, like X, like Meta, Meta doesn't even aim to be free speech, but moderate any platforms. Even if a platform tried to maintain free speech, they would be attacked based on this document, because these guidelines for the governance of digital platforms published by UNESCO basically seek to govern every country, every platform online based on what the UN wants. And it's important to understand what the UN wants, which is why I will talk you through this book today as well, or at least explain what it is that they lay down as their vision in this book. Because in order to understand your enemy, you have to read their documents, you have to study them. To understand the direction of the New World Order, you have to study what they've published, and they don't hide it. These people do not hide it. They are very open about how they want to silence you, how you have to comply or else, how there is no ability for you to exist unless they squeeze you into this box that says you must think and speak like this. That is what is contained inside of these documents. So we're going to go through those today, and I'm going to do my best to again condense this version, or their version of transhumanism and what it means to transition life into the digital and into the metaverse today. So buckle up. It's going to be a loaded broadcast. Stay with me. We'll be right back after this short break. Yuval Noah Harari is really one of the leading futurists, if you will, when it comes to transhumanism, and the evolutionists love him. They think he's great. They really believe that this is the next level of human evolution, man merging with machine, becoming this, this cyborg, and they really think that when the UN and these organizations transition us into the metaverse, that we're somehow going to be, enlightened. And that's exactly what the UN talks about in their book, Remaking the World Towards an Age of Global Enlightenment, which is really a Luciferian term. Okay, that is exactly what they mean by that. But they think that, by connecting our brains to the internet of everything, human beings forming part of the internet where everything is sort of open and visible. You know how Klaus Schwab says, well, if you've got nothing to hide, it won't matter to you. No, hang on a second. I have some thoughts that I'd like to keep private, actually. But inside the universe that they're building, you are policed. Even your thoughts are policed. And so... But these people think, oh, well, it's great because we can share knowledge in real time. I'll be able to see what this neurophysicist is thinking. We'll be able to share our theories in real time in the metaverse or whatever. But that's not actually what this is about. It's about a system of complete control where even your thoughts are monitored. And as the Rand Corporation openly says, we will be able to manipulate the way that humans think and coerce them to do things that they have never that they don't want to do. The Rand Corporation has openly said this. So let's play this clip from Harari, and then I want to get into this UNESCO document.
Many, maybe most legal systems are based on this idea, this belief in human rights. But human rights are just like heaven and like God. It's just a fictional story that we've invented and spread around. It may be a very nice story. It may be a very attractive story, we want to believe it, but it's just a story. It's not a reality. It is not a biological reality. Just as jellyfish and woodpeckers and ostriches have no rights, Homo sapiens have no rights also. Take a human, cut him open, look inside, you find their blood, and you find the heart and lungs and kidneys, but you don't find there any rights. The only place you find rights is in the fictional stories that humans have invented and spread around. And the same thing is also true in the political field. States and nations are also, like human rights and like God and like heaven, they too are just stories. A mountain is a reality. You can see it, you can touch it, you can even smell it. But Israel or the United States, they are just stories, very powerful stories, stories we might want to believe very much, but still they are just stories. You can't really see the United States. You cannot touch it. You cannot smell it.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Of course you can see and touch the United States. Just touch the ground you're standing on, for goodness sake. Think about the things that went into forming the United States. I mean, he's insane. But what I find so fascinating about these people is you hear Yuval Noah Harari, who is a transhumanist, who is, lead advisor to Schwab of the World Economic Forum. And you know that the UN and the WEF and all of these organizations are working hand in hand to achieve this transhumanist agenda. And yet you've got Yuval saying human rights are just a fiction. This is just a fictional story that we made up. Humans don't have any rights. Why would you be advocating for the next phase of human evolution if humans don't have rights? Why would we be spending all this time talking about humans advancing if we don't have any rights? But then you have organizations like the WHO who, when they first published their proposed amendments to the international health regulations, put a strike through the words human rights, fundamental freedoms, and dignity. Or dignity, human fundamental freedoms, and human rights, dignity, and fundamental freedoms. I don't know which order it was in. It really doesn't matter. They put a strike through, meaning all future pandemics we will not consider human rights or dignity or fundamental freedoms when we are addressing all future pandemics. And then UNESCO publishes these guidelines for the governance of digital platforms. And they say human rights have to be at the center of everything that we do. The United Nations claims that it's a human rights organization. The World Health Organization says public health is a human right. So they keep harping on about these human rights. Meanwhile, they do not believe in them. In fact, in the book, Remaking the World Towards an Age of Global Enlightenment, they say that all human beings are objects, that they've been entered into a social contract, which most of us didn't even know about. Their social contract involves holding a couple of public Zoom meetings, and then after Z Media puts out a report exposing them, taking them down off YouTube. Yes, they did that. That was the Boston Global Forum. Can't find some of those videos anymore. Holding a couple of public consultation meetings and having two guests on Zoom who disagreed with a lot of what they were saying, by the way, in terms of letting AI run the judicial system, and then saying, we've entered humanity into a social contract through public consultation. They're all now called objects in the AI world society. So it's very important to understand their thinking when you're reading these documents and they keep telling you that they care about human rights, because they don't. Their version of human rights is the version where you are nothing. You only get to live, earn, and exist if you think in the way that they want you to think. Forget free speech. They're after your brain. They're after your soul.
Okay, so there you go. Right? How the wicked of this wicked world are becoming more and more confident and bold in what they want to achieve, right? But the thing is that it doesn't matter how many contracts have been signed, for the simple reason that the law of the land is not the Supreme Court. It is the Bible. It is Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, the true owner of this planet, right? And on top of that, the Edomites are standing in stolen land, right? So what they want to implement to the whole world, this utopia artificial system of wickedness, right, would not be successful as they keep pretending is going to be. The title of this lesson, I will call it, I Shall Not Want. Okay? For the simple reason that if you don't take and join the program, the mark, you're not going to be able to go, to the stores. You won't be able to go to work. You won't be able to get food, right? So this is going to be the test, one of the tests, a big test that's going to come upon the whole world. I want to go to Psalm chapter 23, verse 1. Yahweh is my shepherd. I shall not want. Okay? Very important and strong words, right? To keep close to your heart, close to your mind, because the wicked Edomites, they want to convince the whole world that they are mighty and powerful and gods, and that you have to comply to their belief system, and that you have to bow down and worship them, it's Slakia, or else you won't be able to live or eat. But we have to put our trust, right, in Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai. I want to go to Isaiah chapter 40, verse 11. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arms and carry them in his bosom, and shall gently lead those that are with young. See? So, most of our people, the so-called Negro Latino, Native Americans and speckled birds, are so used to living in the city, right? Having this civil slavery mentality, forgot that everything grows from the earth. They're so used to going to the store that, they see what they see on TV only, But they don't understand that a lot of our food grows wild. The only thing is that, the Edomites have cut down so many trees, so then that way when you try to escape and run back into the woods, to the wilderness, that the technology, right, their AI robots and dogs can, infiltrate and catch you quicker and see you quicker as well, right? The drones and all that. But when there's a lot of trees, trees are also antennas and obstacles as well. It makes it harder. So that's how come they cut so much trees in the wilderness. But if you are with Yahweh Bashin Yahweh Shai, no matter what they have done, he will still lead the way, right? Yes, some of us are going to be taken, okay? But that's because Yahweh Bashin Yahweh Shai decides who will be taken, who will be beheaded, who will be thrown in FEMA camp, who has to give their life and die, right? So even if that happens and you stay firm in the name of Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai, you still come out winning. You so-called Negro Latino, Native Americans, and speckled birds. Those who are called, by the way. I want to go to... Give me a minute. Where am I? All right, let me go to... John, that's what I want to go. So I can for that, I have to take a look here. Focus on this. John chapter 10, verse 11. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd gives his life for the sheep. Right? We already know that Yahweh Shai did that. That's how come we should do the same when it comes for not bowing down to this wicked utopia, la la land, right? That they want to bring in the new world system that is only for them so they can steal more, right? Control more, and for them to have everyone cyborg so they can go and fight when Yahweh Shai comes back with the host of angels while they go and hide under the ground. Because they know that their end is coming closer every day. Let me jump to verse 2, Slakia. But he that enters in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. Yeah. If you hear the words when you're in the highways walking about and you hear the camp calling the name of Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai, telling you who he is, knocking on the door of your heart, of your mind, you so-called Negro Latino, Native American speckled birds, you should stop here and let him enter, right? You let Santa Claus, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Valentine's, birthdays, right? Why not let the Good Shepherd enter and guide you to the truth? Something to think about, huh? Verse 3, to him, the doorkeeper opens, and the sheep hears his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. See how important it is and how powerful that name, Yahweh Bashin Yahweh Shai, Yahweh the Father and Yahweh Shai the Son? Yeah. What's that saying goes again? Choose this day who you going to follow, who you going to worship, who you going to obey, right? Verse 4, and when he puts forth his own shepherd, he goes before them, and the shepherd follow him, for they know his voice. That is so important. We recognize the voice of Yahweh Bashin Yahweh Shai. But of course, you have to be called. If you're not called, you want to pray in that name with fear and trembling. So we're getting closer every day for the second shutdown or whatever they're going to bring, the pandemic, whatever way they're going to come about. Verse 5, and a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of a stranger. Yeah. And that's what the wicked ones are doing. They're the strangers. They want the so-called Negro Latino, Native Americans and speckled birds to follow them. Right? That's crazy. That'll be suicidal. Right? That'll be setting you up for the second judgment. You want to be judged with the first one, not the second one. I want to jump to verse 14. But he that is and hearing and not the shepherd, whose own shepherds are not, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and flees, and the wolf catch them and scatters the sheep. Oh, it's like I was 12. I meant 14. I am the good shepherd and know my sheep, and I know of mine. Yeah, it's lucky for that. He knows his own, and we know him. Nobody can, enter through no other door, and this is what these wicked Edomites want to convince our people, that there's another way and that there's no God and there's no rights. Right? So they are making things up because that's all they can do. right? They make artificial food, right? Artificial money, right? They put artificial things in the food as well, in the clothes. Now they want to put it inside the humans to have control. 14, I want to go to 15, Salakia. As the Father knows me, even so know I the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep. Yeah, that's how strong Yahweh Shai loves us. That he is coming back, and this time they won't be able to take him out like they did the first time. He's coming back not as a human being, but with super spiritual powers to remove this wicked world system and to remove the Edomites from power as well. I read 16. Give me a minute. Verse 16. And another sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd. Yeah. He's coming to get the rest of us, those who have been called, those who have been chosen, the 144,000 chosen elect. I can only hope and pray that I'm one of them, right? And 1/3 that he's going to come also as well. I want to go back to Psalm. Give me a minute. Chapter 23, verse 2. He makes me lie down in green pasture, right? He leads me beside the still waters, right? Pasture, habitation, a pleasant place, even a house, right? So when we put our trust in him, that we cannot no more do or obey this wicked system, right? All we can do is just follow Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai, right? We're pilgrims, so we just move about and trust that he will guide us in the direction that we got to go, right? That he will bring us food, water, and shelter. You see, until he comes. And again, I have to repeat it, and it comes that, that we are chosen, right? Some are going to be chosen to die. It'd be a honorable death, okay? I want to go to Ezekiel chapter 34. Oops, 34. Give me a minute. I'm looking here. Chapter 14. Here we go. Chapter 34, verse 14. Nope. Wrong place. I knew something was. Here we go. Now I'm in the right place. Salaki for that. Verse 14. I will feed them in a good pasture, and upon the high mountains of Israel shall their fold be. They shall lead in a good fold, and in a fat pasture shall they feed upon the mountain of Israel. Yeah. As you can see, mountain also means government, right? And Yahweh Shai has a government that he's going to bring to earth. And they are known as the 144,000 chosen elect. Right? It's like a 4,400 chosen elect. So it's only a matter of time when these wicked Edomites, right, implement the mandate. Once they bring in the pandemic around the world, then rest assured the sky will crack open and you're going to see some serious action. You're going to be seeing those so-called UFOs, right? When they really are chariots, clouds that the Bible talks about. Yeah, thousands. It's like 144,000. It's like I was thinking about it. I heard a noise out here. Broke my concentration. It's like for that. I want to go to John chapter 10, verse 9. Give me a minute. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. Yeah. That's how powerful that name is, Yahweh Shai. Right? But the Edomites want to put the fear of wickedness to our people, so-called Negro Latino, Native American speckled birds, to worship their fake God. That's a they keep talking about that you have no rights, there is no God, right? They have to keep talking this way because what was his name in the past? Hitler. Hitler said that if you say a lie long enough, people will start to believe it. Well, yeah. Those who are not called in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You see? I want to go to John chapter 14, verse 6. Here we go. Yahweh Shai said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes unto the Father but by me. Yeah. So, 2/3 of our people are going to say, wow, cyborgs? I mean, I'd be connected to the internet? I will know what everybody's thinking. They will know what I'm thinking. I got nothing to hide. Man, that's great. That's wonderful. Oh, man, that's going to be peace on earth. Right? No. That's going to actually be hell on earth. The only thing is going to be inside of you. It'll be the worst thing you ever did. Right? The so-called Negro Latino, Native Americans, and speckled birds. I want to go to Acts chapter 4, verse 12. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is no other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. Right? So the Edomites want you to believe, or else, that their fake science is the solution to all the problems that's going on in the world. When really the problem is the Edomites, right? They're the ones that caused the problem. Now they say they have the solution. No, they're the snake. You cannot trust a snake. They're the ones that have to be taken out of power. That's what we call Yahweh Shai. And we call the Father Yahweh to send our King Yahweh Shai to remove these wicked Edomites from power and remove their wicked kingdom forever. You see how that works? Let's go back to Psalm chapter 23, verse 3. Give me a minute while I turn the pages here. All right. 23, I said verse 3. He restores my soul. He leads me in path of righteousness for his name's sake. See what happens when you trust him? The name Yahweh Shai. He will guide us. He will lead us. He will help us. Edomites are not interested in helping us, the so-called Negro Latino, Native American speckled birds. They want to keep us enslaved because without us, they are nothing. Right? So they got to keep us. They just got to bring the population down of us because we multiply more than them. That's no big secret. Okay? I want to go to Psalm chapter 5. Give me a minute. Verse 8. Lead me, O Yahweh, in thy righteousness, Slakia, because of my enemies. Make the way straight before my face. He's the only one that can do it, man. You know, our people don't know how important it is that without Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shah, we are nothing. Okay? By coming back to him, he will bring the curses that we have, lower them, and give them to the Edomite, which that's what's happening right now. Verse 9. For there is no faithful in their mouth. Look at this. Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongue. Yeah. You see how they're talking Carl Schwab, George Soros, Bill Gates, and this alien guy, right? Who really think and believe that it's a wonderful idea, a wonderful system to, to join hands and live in that cyborg mentality. That is really wicked. Give me a minute. I was 5 and 9. I want to go to Psalm chapter 25. That's what I was looking at. Chapter 25, verse 4. Show me thy ways, O Yahweh. Teach me thy path. Lead me in thy truth, and teach me, for thou art Yahweh of my salvation. On thee do I wait all day. Okay? So how important it is to come back to Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai. They want to remove the Bible because it has woken up the people around the world. Now they believe with AI, the Edomite, that if they take the Bible away and if they shut everything down, that they can, stop Yahweh sending Yahweh Shai. No. If anything, the Edomites really don't have no other choice but to go forward in what they say they're going to do, so Yahweh can send Yahweh Shai, okay, and remove them out of their power, out of their blessing. That's going Yahweh Shai is going to take back, okay. The blessing of the sword that was given at one time to Esau. Okay. Let me go to, that was back to Psalm chapter 23, verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of shadows of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, thy comfort me. Right? thy rod, right? Let me take a look here. I wrote it down so I can for that. I'm looking. To make fat, to find. Oh, here it goes. Okay. For punishing, fighting, rooting, correction, authority, power, strength, order, right? Righteousness, authority. Okay? And only Yahweh Shai, can come back and remove these wicked Edomites who been given a blessing, and they, instead of using it for righteousness, they have using it for wickedness, because that's what's in their heart. They're wicked. They were created to be the wicked, right? So that we can be perfected in knowing that wickedness only brings what? Destruction. It doesn't bring order. It doesn't bring love. It's the opposite of love. Verse 5, thou prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemy. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runs over. Woo! With oil, huh? Let's take a look at what we got. Anointed to satisfy, right? And accept, take away the ashes, right? Take away the sins, our sins, right? Through the Son, Yahweh Shai. But these Edomites, they want to keep all of us in sin. They want us to celebrate their wicked ways, right? And they want us to follow their belief system, man with man, woman with woman, for their entertainment. Wicked, huh? Then we go to Song 104. See if I can find it here. 104 verse what? 14. He caused the grass to grow for the cattle, and the herbs for the servant of men, that he may bring forth food out of the earth. So he's really reminding us that all things come from the earth, not from the store. Okay? Is that when you've been living so long in the city, you get so used to and so accustomed going to the store, right? That you forget that everything comes from the earth. And when you go out into the wilderness, how are you going to know what to eat? Well, that's where it comes on trusting the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Plus all the food that these wicked preppers been storing up, yeah, it's going to be coming in our direction for us. Verse 15. And wine that makes glad heart of men. Right? Wine, the holy feast that's written in Scripture, right? That we've been doing to the best of our ability. But yeah, if you want us to have wine in the wilderness, it will happen also. And oil to make his face shine. Yeah, that's the blessing, right? Being blessed. Just like when Moses went up to the mountain, he came back shining, right? And it says here, and bread which strengthens men's heart. That's the word. Having the word, eating up the word of the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to give us strength, to keep us focused. I want to leave it with Psalm. What happened here? Chapter 23, verse 6. Surely good and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Yahweh forever. Yeah. Because when you are called to do the work in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and go on the highways and byways, right? Calling our people to wake up, stop drinking the Kool-Aid, get ready, right? And how you get ready? By hearing the call in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and doing the work to the best of your ability. You can keep chasing money, the bag, the so-called Negro, Latino, American speckled bird, but that's coming to a stop. Everything is going to turn digital. And just because you say, well, I can still buy stuff with digital. No. They're coming with new rules, man. That's what you're leaving out. And these new rules are money. If it's not used when they tell you to use it and how to use it, it expires. You cannot save. You cannot buy whatever you want and do whatever you want. It's going to get crazy out there. I hope that this was edifying, and with that I'll say Shalom.